Locals called them the Woods of Whispers. Just outside Alderbrook, they stood cloaked in shadow and shrouded in unsettling tales. Legends spoke of an unspeakable horror that resided within, a malevolent presence that lured the unsuspecting to their doom. Some whispered of a ghostly figure, its eyes burning with eerie light. Others spoke of chilling screams that echoed through the trees at night. The origin of these stories remained a mystery, lost to time and shrouded in fear. But one thing was certain. The woods held an unsettling grip on the town's imagination. Generations passed and the legend of Alderbrook Woods endured, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the familiar. It became a place to avoid, a silent sentinel of fear at the edge of their world. Hannah scoffed at such superstitious nonsense. A pragmatic soul with an adventurous spirit, she dismissed the local lore as mere folklore. Ghosts and ghouls were the stuff of campfire stories, not reality. She thrived on logic and reason, her skepticism deeply ingrained. The unknown didn't frighten her, it intrigued her. So when Halloween rolled around, Hannah saw an opportunity. The Woods of Whispers, typically shunned on this night, became her own personal dare. She'd venture into its depths armed with her flashlight and her unwavering skepticism, determined to prove that the only horrors that existed were in people's minds. It was a chance to debunk a myth and perhaps have a good story to tell. Little did she know she was about to become a part of the legend herself. A palpable chill hung in the air as dusk descended on Alderbrook. A blanket of fog, thick and heavy, rolled in, obscuring the familiar landmarks and amplifying the eerie silence. Even the most skeptical couldn't help but feel a shiver run down their spine as darkness swallowed the town. Undeterred, Hannah set out towards the woods, her flashlight cutting a thin beam through the swirling mist. Each step deeper into the woods seemed to amplify the silence. The usual nocturnal symphony of crickets and owls was eerily absent, replaced by an unnerving quiet that pressed in on her. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The fog played tricks on her eyes, twisting the shapes of trees into looming figures. Still, she pressed on, her skepticism a shield against the growing unease. The deeper she ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The fog seemed to cling to her now, a cold, damp embrace, and then through the swirling mist she saw it. A small, dilapidated cabin, barely visible in the gloom. It stood nestled amongst the trees, its windows like vacant eyes staring out at her. A single, flickering light emanated from within, beckoning her closer. Cautiously, Hannah approached, her hand hovering over the flashlight. The cabin was ancient, its wooden walls rotting and overgrown with creeping vines. The door creaked open with a groan, revealing a dusty interior lit by a single flickering lantern. The air inside was thick with the smell of decay and something else, something vaguely metallic. On the walls, strange, grotesque drawings were etched into the wood, depicting twisted figures and disturbing scenes. A shiver ran down Hannah's spine. This was no ordinary cabin. In the center of the cabin, Hannah noticed it. An ornately framed mirror, its surface clouded with age, stood against the far wall. The flickering lantern light seemed to dance around it, casting strange shadows that danced across the dusty floor. An inexplicable pull drew her towards it, her reflection beckoning her closer. As she peered into the mirror's depths, a chill ran down her spine. Her reflection didn't match her movements. It moved with a life of its own, its eyes, a startling shade of green, locked onto hers with an unnerving intensity. A sly smile crept across its lips, a smile that didn't reach its eyes. Panic welled up inside Hannah as she realized her reflection was reaching out, its cold, spectral fingers closing around her wrist. Hannah tried to pull away, her heart pounding in her chest, but the grip was too strong. The mirror's surface rippled like water, the reflection's grin widening into a grotesque mockery of her own. She screamed, the sound swallowed by the oppressive silence of the woods. Her vision blurred as she was pulled forward, her body slowly being drawn into the cold, unforgiving glass. Now Hannah exists within the mirror, her essence trapped within its depths. Her reflection, free from its prison, walks the earth in her place. a chilling reminder of the night she dared to challenge the legend of Alderbrook Woods. Trapped, she watches, waits, and hopes for someone brave or foolish enough to seek her out. But Hannah knows, with a growing sense of dread, that she may have to do to them what was done to her to escape her mirrored cage.